Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's date is Monday, the 12th of January 2026, the year of green wicks and BSV Terranode in the mix. Branch your threads, expand your mind with treechat.ai. Or you post, put on chain. Let's see what we've got today. Quite a bit to get through. Good grief, what a day in politics it's been today. So we'll go through those. We'll go through the figures to see what's up with what is going down. Quite an interesting green wick went up here. Another one, but straight up and straight back down again. But price is trying to break out. Look, it's there on Orange Gateway as well. Like somebody YOLO'd in there. That's the wrong one, but that's the overall price. And then we've got some 365 days of Bitcoin history. Today, Hal Finney, or back in 2009, received the first ever Bitcoin transaction of 10 Bitcoins from Craig Wright at block height 181. For the purpose of the ledger, 40 Bitcoins were sent, 10 Bitcoins were kept, and 30 Bitcoins returned, leaving Hal with a balance of 10 Bitcoin. So we will explore that when we get there, right? Let's get into it.
Craig says he's Satoshi, like a cowboy in the West, riding on the blockchain that they call the very best. 1 million strong, them transactions flying free. He's acclaiming his legacy, you'll surely see.
All right, here we go. So let's try and rip through these as quick as we can. Elon Musk has reposted this from Doge Designer. He said there's a massive incentive on the left to import voters so they can convince their nation to vote for them. They're going to import people from other nations to vote for them. It's a strategy that will succeed if it's not stopped. Elon Musk is awake, but look at the t-shirt that he's wearing. What is he? Controlled opposition? Like, who knows? But that's spitting facts right there. And meanwhile, in Bali, Indonesia, this is so bad. One of the most beautiful islands in the world, looking more like this every day. Again, it's all by design. They're destroying it, as we'll see when we go on. I mentioned this yesterday, Bitcoin Dictionary. They get satire, but this will happen. He said, Justin, Elon Musk's X announces it will launch in-app Bitcoin BSV and crypto trading. 7 million users. This is huge, but it's coming. It's coming. This is another stark reminder of what happened in Weimar, Germany, just before World War II. Provocation of just general culture and depravity is what they're using, and it's exactly what they're doing here today, because they want World War III in order to fulfill their extremist religious agenda, Pikism. And Truth Seeker said here that, again, they're trying to introduce cannibalism, or they're saying that cannibalism is already going on. Absolutely nuts. It's not a conspiracy anymore. You're eating human flesh. Like, we know who brought that in. And again, Red Pillbot said here, World War II depends on who's telling the story. Or World War II history depends on who's telling the story. And the amount of bullshit that we've been fed from that. And this is why the world needs Bitcoin, to find out what the truth is. And Basil the Great said, what's this? The UK government have launched a video game for children at school where if you say you don't like immigration, you are referred to the Prevent Anti-Terrorist Scheme. This is being used to find patriotic children and investigate them. The UK is a police state. We know who's doing that. Starmer literally being absolutely heckled as he's walking through the public. How he's got the nerve to show his face in public these days is outrageous. But check this out. Darth Powell said here, notice the trend. Why did they flood Sweden and Ireland with immigrants? Are politicians this effing stupid? Well, just have a listen to this. This is absolutely outrageous.
We only have two enemies in Europe at the moment, and this is Sweden and Ireland.
And he refused to explain it there.
Fantasy that Irish are always very hostile.
How? What do you mean?
Look, the Swedes have this fantasy that they are the people who will tell everybody who's right and who's wrong.
No. So the Swedes just have a politically neutral stance. They refuse to get involved with anybody. In the same way as Switzerland. The only difference being is that in Switzerland everybody carries a gun, and so therefore the government won't mess with them. The people rule, and that's not what's happened in Sweden. And they're like, all right, because Sweden and Ireland, the people there won't bow down to the chosen people. They're now enemies, and he's saying this is what we're going to do to them now.
and we look at them and say, who the hell are you all? Actually, we use stronger language than this, okay, to ourselves. Okay, they're being ridiculous, and they have these perceptions that is. Okay, I only
Never heard that.
my revenge on Sweden is Malmo. You know, this is a place where people can't live anymore, and it's a very major problem, and they really deserve it.
Yeah, look, it's a really major problem, and they deserve it. Yeah, you can't live there now because they've imported a load of terrorists over there. Like literally bombs going off all the time, and now we know who's behind it. And June Slater said here, for 12 to 18-year-olds, a government-funded game that threatens to report you if you question mass migration. Listen and weep. Yeah, I mean, absolutely outrageous what's going on, but we know who's behind it. And Ariana Grande was saying here, they erased my memory at the Brighter Days clinic. I mean, what? This is just absolutely nuts. But have a listen.
They did the Brighter Days memory erasure treatment to me, so I'm having trouble remembering the details. They're foggy because at the Brighter Days clinic they do the memory erasure, you know? What? The memory erasure. They erase my memories. It's a little foggy. They did the Brighter...
Again, yeah, MK Ultra stuff there. Really good interview here on BSV. BSV at scale. So if you find that on my feed here, it's only about, I think it's a half-hour video. Yeah, 36 minutes. Great interview there. That's with Olga. Yeah, she talks about she's obviously involved with the BSV Association. Well worth a look at. And look at this in Birmingham, absolutely vile. Instead of allowing African men to sleep in bins, the UK government really should be putting them on flights back to the homeland. Look at this. They're literally sleeping in bins because it's so cold and they're out on the street.
Oh yeah. Hello? Hello? Are you okay? You homeless? Go to here.
Like, what the hell? What the hell? What the hell is an African migrant doing sleeping in a bin in the snow? Like, what? Surely they're not going to be used to that climate at all. It's just nuts what's going on. And this is Alex from Talk TV going absolutely bonkers, rightly so.
Because whenever you get a celebrity in a Prada dress and a Gucci handbag banging on about racism, they are the ones joining with a cultish, fascistic, censorial word being used to create a force field around people who really do horrible things. The word racist has become a tool of oppression by the elites to silence other people into not complaining about left-wing policies. The word racism is the same word that enabled Pakistani men to groom 250,000 white girls. Because whenever...
Absolutely, yeah. Good to see she's going off on there. And another one. Said a breaking Argentinian woman affected by the Patagonian fires. Says that these certain people are setting up fires across the country. They burned our paradise. They ruined everything. They're trying to sell Patagonia to these certain people. The place is crawling with these people. They're buying up the land. No one does anything. Yeah, I mean, this Bitcoin is the only way out. They're doing it because they control the central banks. And Bernie said here, London now, Starmer silent as the greatest revolution of 50-year unfolds. Persia will free itself from the certain Iranian government. And the UK authorities hide. Well, yeah, let's see what happens. And I am British says, no propaganda today, guys, just the streets of England. Does that look English to you? Yeah, nah, because we know who's doing it. Yeah, there's more about the farmers. There's more about who's flying the planes. Yeah, absolutely, like nuts. Some people still can't see it. And this happened today. Basil the Great says, oh my God. Reform UK's new appointee, Nazim Zahawi, is literally arguing for third world migrants to take money from the UK and send it back to their countries.
Remittances between family can't be embezzled or misspent by corrupt regimes.
Yeah, that's right. So we need to send money abroad, or send currency abroad that country can actually print themselves. It's just so ridiculous. It is so ridiculous what's going on. Talk about ridiculousness, though. This profile here, well, I responded to saying it was designed to fail from the beginning. They said Bitcoin Core removed the download page for version 30 from their website. You simply cannot make this shit up. Look, bitcoincore.org 404 not found. Honestly, it is just such an absolute piss take. And more of a piss take is here. Daily Mail said council fines roofer £300 for having empty crisp packets and sandwich wrappers in his van because he doesn't have a license to carry rubbish. What a fucking joke. And again, no fines or forfeitures without due process and conviction by jury of peers. Yeah, anybody trying to impose a fine, that's contempt of court, 5 years in prison. But again, the government is controlled by these Satanists. And Basil the Great also says here, Westminster Insiders claim Sadiq Khan is going to step down as mayor this year and become an MP and challenge Keir Starmer for the leadership. Buckle up. Oh my God, can you imagine the shit? Talk about out of the frying pan into the fire. That's why he'll probably get it. And on this video here, David Starkey obliterates Keir Starmer live on TV because, again, they tried to cancel him as well for speaking the truth. And listen to what this poor guy said about what happened to him and how shit the police have been.
Good morning. First and foremost, this is not my normal look, as many people who follow me on Facebook know. And the reason for this post is to get your opinion. I was jumped from behind by an unknown male on Saturday morning, and I was viciously attacked. And as you can see, black eyes, swollen sore nose, had a bleed after a CT scan, a bleed to the front of my head, and tissue damage to the jaw. So I sustained injuries, as you can see. Staffordshire Police attended, and we got the registration of the offender, and the police were able to trace who the car owner was and the offender. Long story short, Staffordshire Police called me while sat in accident emergency on Saturday night and asked if I would be prepared to allow the offender to have a community resolution order. In other words, they don't offend for 12 months. I said, are you joking? This is an unprovoked attack. This is actual bodily harm or grievous bodily harm as far as I'm concerned. Then I got a phone call yesterday and they said that they have located the offender and he has agreed that he will come in and see them on Tuesday. So they didn't go and do like we see on the TV, go and arrest him. This guy was allowed to go back his normal business on Saturday afternoon, allowed to go back his normal business Sunday and Monday, despite the threats. What do you think? Staffordshire Police, I'm really sorry, but you have failed once again.
They haven't failed, mate. It's all by design, you know. Good job he didn't write a social media post, or he might have got arrested and got 6 months in prison. What's a fucking piss take. And Red Pillbot said here, Macron's French government funded a demon-like hybrid, being events tainted in satanic and occult symbols, and nobody in the US is talking about it. This is a spiritual battle, and they are showing exactly what side they're on. Yeah, I mean, this is exactly Baal worship, and I think he said Lilith. Yeah, Lilith is who it's meant to be. Lilith and Baal. Well, yeah, again, it's all biblical and satanic. This guy's absolutely hilarious. Elon Musk even retweeted this one. Have a listen.
Right now, I'm representing myself, and I'm representing the folks at Rise and Resist who have been trained
so Rise
to
and
be
Resist.
marshals.
How much do they pay you to wear this vest?
Absolutely nothing.
Really?
So I did some digging, and the woman trying to stop my interview is named Karen Shaw. She is a professional protester. I found her at almost 100 different protests. Let's look at her portfolio, shall we? Here's her outside Trump Tower saying TikTok time's up. Here's her saying ban guns, not drag. Amazing. This is her telling us that lies have consequences. She is also very passionate about abortion. Even in the video right now, she's just wearing a hat that says abortion on it. Sometimes she gets less creative though and just holds a sign that says enough. Now here I found her working with a different professional protester that I've exposed. This is Stuart Waldman. He was there when they raised the Palestinian flag over City Hall in Rhode Island.
Everyone knows you.
Everyone knows me?
You are. They know what you do.
I know what you do as well, Stuart Waldman. You are on the board of RiseandResist.org, the company that is paying people like Karen for a second job as a professional protester. And the donation link to give you money is just Act Blue, which is the fundraising platform for the Democrat Party. That's who you are, Stuart Waldman. Now back to Karen. I found her with another professional protester that I've exposed. This was back at the Tesla protest. This is just a few photos of this other professional protester out of maybe 50 that I found.
Wow, it just goes to show you how corrupt everything is. Everything is staged. Like Shakespeare said, the world is a stage. And Tom Montgomery here, like literally absolutely letting rip at Nigel Farage, saying Nazim Zahawi was asked about the COVID jab claims raised by Dr. Asim Malhotra and the Reform Party conference. His response is very telling. He said, "I expect more from you. That was really stupid. Actually, it wasn't. We can see you sweating and squirming as you know the experimental mRNA jab you pushed on the British public and coerced people to take is harmful and has killed people needlessly. How do you sleep at night? I will never know. You make me sick. Families lost loved ones. So many have reported injury and long-term damage. Yeah, I know people myself that have had that. That's a reality demands truth, accountability and justice, not dismissal or political rehabilitation. Those who vault through coronavirus legislation and crush civil liberties, censor dissent and enable the greatest peacetime assault on freedom in British history cannot simply walk away. Power was abused, rights were trampled, and the consequences are still unfolding. Yeah, Tom Montgomery, Tom's spot on with his assessment there. And this was this old bag, Hillary Clinton. Have a listen here.
Platforms, whether it's Facebook or Twitter X or Instagram or TikTok, whatever they are, if they don't moderate and monitor the content, we lose total control. And it's not...
You shouldn't have control anyway, love. What are you talking about?
Not just the social platforms.
So again, it's all about controlling the narrative and censorship, banning free speech. Yeah, they're all in on it. They're all in on it. And this is why the world needs Bitcoin, because they're trying to control all the media. They're trying to stop the truth from getting out, but they already control the financial system. That's why they've got the balls to do it. And this is an interesting video here. The whistleblower, he said, takes down the United Nations. He was telling them how he was meant to investigate for the United Nations. And they were like, no, these are the questions you're going to ask. This is what you're going to say. And you're going to report to us before anything goes out. And he was like, well, that's not investigation. That's just being dictated to by the United States. It's outrageous. And concerned citizen says, meanwhile, in the UK Parliament earlier, this offence will be brought into effect this week. Ofcom can apply for a court order to attack X, Grok, Elon Musk and its users. They're completely obsessed with doing everything they can to shut down X as it exposes their hypocrisy, corruption every single day. Yeah, absolutely.
The Data Act, passed last year, made it a criminal offence to create or request the creation of non-consensual intimate images. And today, I can announce to the House that this offence will be brought into force this week.
Look, they're all in on it. All those head nodders, all those just like going, oh, here. They're all in on it. They're all in on it. And another one here. Let's just I'll read the words as he goes through this. In the biological destruction, there are the organized tempests on the magnetic field. What will follow is the contamination of the bloodstream of mankind.
La pollution que nous mettrons dans le sang et dans les veines de l'humanité en créant des
creating international infections.
Et ensuite de ça, ayant créé ces infections volontairement, on crée.
This will be enforced via laws that will make vaccination mandatory. Where have we seen that?
Il y aura des lois qui obligera la population à se faire donner des vaccins, et dans ces vaccins,
and these vaccines will make possible to control people.
Il y aura tout ce qu'il faut pour que vous puissiez être contrôlé. On introduira.
Vaccines will have liquid crystals that will become hosted in the brain cells. Oof, I've seen videos of this.
Introduira dans ces vaccins des cristaux liquides. Ces cristaux se logeront dans les cellules de votre cerveau et ils deviendront des
which will become micro-receivers of electromagnetic fields.
Micro-récepteurs à des champs électromagnétiques envoyés par des ondes ultrasoniques très
where waves of very low frequencies will be sent.
Très basse fréquence, et avec ces ondes
And through these low frequency waves, people will be unable to think.
à très basse fréquence, on pourra vous empêcher de penser. On pourra faire de vous
You'll be turned into a zombie.
des zombies. Et n'allez pas croire que
Don't think of this as a hypothesis. This has already been done.
je suis au stage où je pense que c'est de l'hypothèse. Ce que je vous compte, c'est fait. Souvenez-vous du Rwanda.
Think of Rwanda.
Ah.
Yeah, and what went on there? It's scary what this lot are doing. Andrew Bridgen said, do you remember former banker Ronald Bernard, who spoke out about being asked to kill children to progress his career as an elite? It was an honour to meet this brave man. I mean, can you imagine actually talking out about, speaking out about that? He'd be petrified, really. And concerned citizen here saying Liz Truss being based as fuck. Have a listen.
Like it or not, in Britain we are living under the House of Blair. He has had more impact on the country than any Prime Minister since Attlee. All of our problems, the sluggish economy, mass migration, two-tier justice, and cultural decline can be traced back to his legacy.
Yep, she knows. She knows. Tommy Robinson posted this. He said, Representative Sarah Stalker, she says, I felt guilty every day for being white, and kids should too. These people are insane. I mean, this is, again, wokeism. They're all in on it.
I'm going to be honest. I don't feel good about being white every day. For a lot of reasons. Because it's a point of privilege. That I get to move through the world in a way that so many of my other colleagues and friends and family members in the community don't get the privilege to.
Really? So they don't get that privilege? And who is it that's denying the privilege? Oh yeah, that's right. It's you, love.
Do. And I'm just a female, but just a woman.
Yeah, I'm just a Satan worshipper.
A white woman. If I was a white man, I would be functioning from a point of an even greater privilege.
They're just gaslighting people. Like, oh my god. Basil the Great said Nazim Zahawi is deleting some of his old tweets now that he's defected to Reform UK. Lucky screenshots are forever. Yeah, look at that. Nazim Zahawi saying, no chance, been a Conservative all my life and will die Conservative. Yeah, and he's just changed today. Farage has run for political office 6 times, has been an MEP for 15 years. He's as established as they come. He said, I'm not British born, Mrs. Nigel Farage. I am as British as you are. Your comments are offensive and racist. I would be frightened to live in your country run by you. And yet now he's defected over to them. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And this profile here said, you won't find this in the mainstream media. Thousands of Orthodox Jews lined up in London to oppose Zionism while chanting Israeli government shame on you. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Orthodox Jews doing that. They know what's going on. They know what's going on. Their religion has been hijacked. Yeah, again, Bernie saying a reminder of Nadim Zahawi, the man who reassured the nation that COVID passports were liberal and discriminatory and would not be introduced to the UK, and then turncoat. Literally, absolutely insane what's going on. And Trump's going after Jerome Powell, chairman of the Federal Reserve. He's trying to justify his actions. Unforgivable, perpetrating securities fraud, asset stripping the entire world, and he's going to stand there with a straight face, lie through his teeth, because that's what they do. Dr. Russ McGregor said here, Australia will pass the toughest hate law ever, seen on Tuesday. It's called the Combating Anti-Semitism, Hate and Extreme Bill 2026. So what's that got to do with individual countries? But we know he's controlling things behind the scenes. This is a funny comment. This profile here said, this is on par with I Can't Sweat. And this is Mandelson, Lord Mandelson, trying to excuse himself because he says, oh yeah, I'm gay, so therefore I was excluded from all the sexual shenanigans that Jeffrey Epstein and his colleagues were getting up to. Outrageous. Rupert Lowe's Restored Britain reports huge surge in members today. This follows the disaster at Reform UK hiring pro-migration Iraqi Nazim Zahawi. But people want to support Rupert Lowe. Things are changing in the UK. Wow. What's Nigel doing? You know, is he like trying to maybe get some political clout to win some political influence, you know, and just to get in power so then he can, like, you know, sack them off? Well, hopefully, but who knows? But it looks like he's shot himself in the foot there. And meanwhile, a reminder to others to turn off their TVs. And again, you know, because we know who controls the banks and the media, and this is what happens.
Hi, I'm Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility
is
to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities, Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about trouble and trending the irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country. Plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 What an absolute piss take. An absolute piss take. And this Drew Pavlo said here, Keir Starmer tells the House that he won't ban cousin marriages. The amazing thing is that the country that he's currently trying to ban X means that the British government would rather you marry your cousin than use this app. Like, what an absolute piss take. Oh my goodness me. Anyway, some Bitcoin stuff. Or David on NBA said here, Venezuela just proved the Bitcoin bull case and no one is paying attention. Maduro used Tether to move 80% of Venezuela's oil revenue. Billions in sanctions evasions settled on Tron since 2020. Then the US made a phone call. Tether froze the wallets. Game over. Everyone's focused on the arrest. The real story is the lesson every finance minister on earth just learned in real time. Stablecoins are a leash, not an escape. If someone can freeze it, it isn't money. It doesn't solve sovereignty. Well, exactly. This is what the Bitcoin protocol is all about, but people don't recognize that. First principles: USDT is a dollar plumbing without Swift, faster, cheaper. Still has a CEO. Still has a compliance department. Still picks up when Washington calls. This is why USDT adoption exploded. 71-year-old grandmothers in Caracas pay their HOA fees in Tether now, but useful. Doesn't necessarily equal sovereign. The entire value proposition of for sanctions evasions just got publicly falsified. Now do the game theory. You're in Iran, Russia, any country hedging against dollar weaponization. You just watch Venezuela's crypto solution get shut off like a light switch. Where do you put your reserves now? USDT compromised, yuan, political strings, gold, trying to try selling $500 million across borders in 10 minutes. CBDCs, same kill switch, government branding. There's exactly one asset that clears final settlement without asking permission from anyone. 21 million units, no CEO, no freezing functions, no phone number. This is the ad Bitcoin never had to buy. The most desperate, high-stakes capital on earth just learned there's only one door. Price doesn't reflect it yet, it will. But again, this goon is talking about BTC. Because he doesn't understand the implications of SegWit and Taproot. Dear oh dear, BTC is centrally controlled, mate, you absolute fool. But never mind. Another one here. I mean, Craig, this is a commentary account. They said, we'll follow you for the rest of your lives. I mean, yeah, this is... He said, the way everyone is so concerned, anti-Semitism could soon become punishable by death. Yeah, the no hard laws and all that.
That thanks to Google and SEO will follow you for the rest of your life. Tonight, I speak not just about a problem, but an actual fight. A fight that the Jewish community did not choose, but one that we are now fully engaged in, confronting the global explosion of Jew hatred.
I wonder where that's come from. Good grief. Remember this one? Rupert Lowe said, simply unforgivable. This is what Farage has welcomed into his party. It's vile. Minister Nazim Zahawi says children can overrule their own parents to get COVID jab, as top government scientists urge MPs to ignore vaccine adverses and push ahead with the jabbing 12 to 15-year-olds. Absolutely outrageous. They didn't need it at all. Well, now we know what they're really doing. And Concerned Citizen says here, the government says it wants to protect women and children online. So will it advance the rape gang inquiry? Will it address its failures to stop puberty blocker trials for children? Its failure to stop infiltration of single-sex spaces? The government's inability to deport foreign migrants who have committed sexual offences? Watch Julia Lopez completely expose the British government's hypocrisy when it comes to protecting women, as they continue to import foreign unknown sex offenders every single day. Oof. Oof. We know what's going on. All right, 30 minutes. Let's have a quick look at the show. Gradcoin, $91,000. Bcrash, 622. Fisher Price Cash UK is Bitcoin, 19. Hash rate, 0.02. Now we know it's 0.00. Transactions, 6262. Block size, 8644. There were some juicy blocks coming through here earlier. Look at the bottom here. There's a 126 megabyte block. 86. Oh, so it's calmed down a little bit. But if we look at this in more detail, we can see the blocks coming through. Look at this. 11, 86, 126, 108, 15, 72, 44, 31, 61, 165, 47, 114, 52, 27, 25, 62, 25, 52. There was a whole range of looks like high data blocks coming feeding through there. Loving that. Loving that. Currently 27,000 times cheaper to transact on Bitcoin than Gradcoin. Mining Bitcoin at a 0.4% comparable profit. We'll take that. Let's have a look at the politics in the pie charts then. Here we go. Global hash rate 7 days, 24 hours. Gradcoin hash rate, other miners 6.25. Quite a regular occurrence, that one. 22% on Bcrash, 17% on Fisher Price Cash. And we'll have to look at the mining on what's on chain to see this. Oh, Coov 20.1. SA100 15.1, Tau 15.1, QD-Link 13.6, Gorilla Pool 10.79, Tau Terranode 10.79, Mining Dutch 7.19, Mole Pool 6.47, and GorillaNode.io 0.72. All right, nice. Let's just verify the transactions here. 656,000 transactions over the last 24 hours. Oh, and that is... Oh, it's a solid third place. I thought we were going to be above XRP there. But third place, we'll be trouncing the market soon. And look at this. We've got a price spike here on Bitcoin versus Gradcoin. Look at that. Look at that. And again, we've had more breakouts here. Again, it is artificial suppression. But the thing is, they're getting desperate because they can't do it for longer. You know why? Because the supply is fixed. That's why. Let's have a look at Gradcoin then. Just trending sideways. Let's have a look at genuine Bitcoin. Oh, trending sideways as well, but it had a peak against the US dollar. And that was shown against Gradcoin. Oh, what's going on with the Orange Gateway there? Look as though they lost track of the price there for a little bit. Let's have a look at live coin watch then. Overall market, we'll have the US dollars. Overall market cap $3 trillion. Gradcoin $91,000. Keep an eye on the graphs on the right hand side. A lot of them looking similar. Oh, Bitcoin 83. $19.18. There's that spike in the price. Loving that, loving that. All right then, 12th of January 2009. Hal Finney receives the first ever Bitcoin transaction of 10 Bitcoins from Dr. Craig Wright, a block height 181. For the purpose of the ledger, 40 Bitcoins were sent, 10 Bitcoins were kept, and 30 Bitcoins returned, leaving Hal with a balance of 10 Bitcoin. And here we go. This is how the ledger works. There we go. So we can see here. The total output, 40 BSV were sent, 10 Bitcoins were kept, and 30 Bitcoins returned, leaving Hal with a balance of 10 Bitcoin in the world's first ever Bitcoin transactions. Block height 181. There we go. Look, block 181. There we go. That was the only transaction in there. Amazing. Amazing. 12th of January 2018, Ponzi coin reached its all-time market high price of 33 cents. What a piss take that is. 12th of January 2021, the programmer has 2 guesses left to access a $175 million Bitcoin wallet. That was in 2021. He'll be spitting feathers now. Oh, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Yeah. Woof. Couldn't remember his Bitcoin protection was so high that if you try the password too many times, you lose your coins forever. How convenient, because that's what the cabal want. The cabal want you to lose your coins. 12th of January 2023, so this is now 3 years ago. Bitcoin was not created on Linux. It was built on Microsoft XP using Visual Studio. Guess who was a C++ and C and .NET developer? GIAC.NET analyst number 192 obtained on the 2nd of June 2008. That's right, it was Dr. Wright. And there we go. So there's we're up to date. That's 36 minutes. Hope you enjoyed the show. As ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.
The king still has one more move.